They have been very busy working on this party conference. One thing you can be sure of is that ZANU-PF is a part of organization. Organization is in our DNA. We owe it to history. It's a product of our historical march since the 1960s, when the National Liberation Movement was born in Zimbabwe. So because of that appetite for organization, we promise you a very, very successful National People's Conference. And there's already a lot of excitement by our membership. I think you can see the debate which is going on within the party. People vociferously expressing their views on different aspects of the party. And in this instance, we are a democratic party. We always remind people that when a nation purposely sacrifices lives so that it could become Zimbabwe again, these are people who made conscious decisions. And conscious decisions belie that they are being made in a democratic manner. So the ethos of democracy is ingrained in our history of the struggle. We made democratic decisions to sacrifice and paid a heavy price for that. So in this vein, we very much, as the party, welcome the robust debate which is going on across a variety of issues. And we promise a very lively conference, but at the same time, a conference which will see the party being accounted for by its membership as to how it is delivering the Zimbabwe which the Zimbabweans want. This is what will be at that conference. We are determined to restore prosperity and glory to the people of Zimbabwe. This is the focus of that conference, and the mantra, the motto, everything will revolve around that aspect of growing the economy, delivering prosperity, and restoring the glory of this country. I never cease to remind that in sub-Saharan Africa, the testament to what Zimbabwe has been in the past, you just need to go to Masvingo, you just need to go to Danamombe, you just need to go to Kami in Bulawayo, and 200 other great Zimbabwe, starting with Mapungubwe in South Africa, which is part of our civilization. So we're going back a long way. So when we aspire to glory, it's only answering to what we have been in history, and we'll be making allusions to that as we go on. So this is the People's Conference. Right now we are much more focused on the organization of it, but I've also mentioned on the robust debate which is going on within the party about the performance of the party and about the future direction of the party, with people aspiring, expressing what they would wish the party to be. What we can assure you of most of the democratic ethos, we never muzzle debate in ZANU-PF. We don't muzzle debate. We allow the full flower of the people's views. But at the end of the day, the party will then take a considered view, and the president and his Politburo will chart a way forward which always ensures continuity to the party of prosperity which he has charted since 2017 with the Second Republic and Operation Restore Legacy. So this is the footpath which we are following come the People's Party Conference. But the organization is impeccable. You saw it on SADC. We delivered a clockwork orange summit. Everything worked as ZANU-PF should be. I remind you, we are a party of organization. You don't win a war, a modern war, against the foremost imperial power, the cat's paw of the British, the Rhodesian army, unless you get organized. So organization is at play. That's the People's Conference. We also want to highlight the progress which our president is making on the regional stage, also and on the global stage. Last time we congratulated the president on a very successful SADC summit and his chairmanship. He has been winning kudos from his colleagues. We see a lot of work going on in our various embassies as our ambassadors take on the role of being the regional chairmanship of SADC in the various countries in which they are. We are an organization of neighbors. We are an organization of friends. We are an organization, a Pan-African organization. But beyond that, I emphasize we are an organization, the only regional organization in the world with a shared political soul, which comes from our common struggle as we trained to build a modern army during the national liberation stage of the armed struggle. That's where we come from. So as ZANU PF, we are at home with all our fellow national liberation movements. When they are in challenges, we are there with them. And when they are in elections, we are there with them. And when there is need to celebrate, we are also there with them. And you saw it a couple of months ago. Madagascar became independent, and our president made it a point to go to Antananarivo to attend the inauguration of President Ravdelina from Madagascar. And you saw Madagascar play a very, very prominent role during our deliberations of the summit in Zimbabwe. This is the bonds which we want in the sub-region. And even when the president was in China, SADC heads of states made it a point to come and pay respects to him and discuss issues of regional importance with him, which is, of course, due diplomacy in light of the fact that Zimbabwe is now the chairman. So we are determined to discharge that role on behalf of SADC and take it to another level in terms of the same pursuit which I mentioned earlier on, delivering prosperity to our region. There is no region which is better poised to take advantage of the paradigm shift in global mobility from fossil fuels to new energy, electric batteries, as well as hydrogen fuel. In both categories, hydrogen fuel cells and new energy electric batteries, SADC is singularly well positioned by geological fate. When it comes to new energy electric batteries, lithium, you know about the story of Zimbabwe. Cobalt, you know the story of DRC Congo. It supplies 70% of the world cobalt. Yes. Yeah. Cobalt, you know DRC, the role which it plays. All the trucks which you see coming through Zimbabwe are carrying cobalt for exports to the battery producing regions of the Far East. For these batteries to work, they need to conduct electricity. And the best conductor of electricity, for those who went to physics, through physics, is copper. And both Zambia and the DRC, our neighbors, they are now supplying 40% of the world copper. These are our neighbors. We have also the requirement for graphite. This battery, which is also the same battery which powers the new electric vehicles, but on a larger scale. It requires graphite as a mineral. Zimbabwe has got graphite in Karoi, all you know about Lynx mine. But more exciting is the fact that Mozambique is the largest graphite mine in the world, in the Cabo Delgado region. Then it comes to manganese. South Africa is big in manganese. This is another mineral in the electric battery chain. Then it comes to nickel. Madagascar has got huge resources. So the whole ecosystem of new energy electric batteries has something to do with other countries. So we do now fully appreciate our role in the paradigm shift to new energy, green energy, mobility. When it comes to hydrogen, again, the most important catalyzer is platinum. And you know that Zimbabwe and South Africa hold the rooster in terms of global platinum resources. We are number 1 and number 3 in the world, platinum group metals. So whichever way the future of new energy mobility moves, you have to call the SADC address. This resonates with our president's new role, which is industrialization, because we are on the cusp of a major industrialization drive as the global technology centers vie for the attention of SADC. It's happening now that for the first time in America's engagement with Africa, America is building a railway line for an African country. It has never happened. There's a railway line going on now being sponsored by America between Angola, DRC, and Zambia. This is something which America never thought of in the past. So we say to America, welcome on board. You are coming to the right region. This is SADC. And in the same vein, I want to say the new American ambassador seems to be hitting the right buttons. Our president authorized our acting president to make sure that he meets with the new American ambassador because of his schedule was in China, so that we can take the relations between Washington and Zimbabwe to another level. And just yesterday, the same ambassador, Ambassador Pamela Tremont, was meeting our Minister of Women Affairs, SMEs, and community development. This is a good thing. Our president has always said we are an enemy to none and a friend to all. And we are there to engage with our historical partners, but also to re-engage with those who may not have seen eye to eye with us over certain periods. It's normal, it's inevitable in the course of history that you have disagreements along the way, but eventually people have to find each other out.